Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really looking at a massive statistical matchup in the Bundesliga. It's the big one on match day 6. Eintracht Frankfurt, sitting fourth, up against the league leaders, FC Bayern.
Yeah, and this is, well, it's more than just your standard top table game. The data we've looked at for this deep dive, it really confirms this is a collision course, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
You've got the two best attacks in the whole league facing off.
It feels like a really high-stakes one. High octane is probably the word.
Definitely. And goal difference could get really tight here.
And it's not just about the teams, is it? There's this personal battle shaping up in the numbers, too. That duel between, the big goal scorers everyone's talking about.
Right. You've got the veteran Harry Kane banging them in for Bayern, and then this super exciting young talent, Can Uzun, for Frankfurt.
When you dig into the raw stats, it's pretty fascinating. It's not just that they're having good starts.
No, not at all. Both teams are hitting levels that are actually rewriting their own club record books. So you've got Bayern's established dominance clashing with this, well, frankly stunning and new Frankfurt attacking pace.
Okay, so let's start there. Just how dominant are these attacks? Let's maybe look at Bayern first.
Sure. So Bayern, after just 5 matches, 15 points on the board, and they've scored 22 goals already.
22 goals in 5 games.
22. And to give you some context, the numbers are clear.
Yeah.
No team in the entire history of the Bundesliga has ever scored that many goals in the first 5 games of a season. It's the best start ever, goal-wise.
That's incredible pace. Astronomical, really.
It is. And while Bayern are hitting those league records, Frankfurt are right behind them, pushing their own limits. They've netted 17 goals in their 5 games.
Okay, so 5 less than Bayern, but still.
Exactly. That 17 is a brand new club record for Eintracht Frankfurt after 5 match days.
And you have to remember the context for that 17, too. That crazy 6-4 win they had against Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Oh, yeah. That game showed they don't just score. They score in these wild, almost chaotic bursts sometimes. It's not just efficient. It's overwhelming when it clicks.
And what about consistency from Bayern? That's also a factor here.
Absolutely. They've won every single one of their first 5 league matches. That's the first time they've managed that perfect start in 9 years.
9 years. So companies really hit the ground running.
Seems like it. He's found the formula straight away. And if you look back a bit further, stretching into last season.
The winning streak.
Right. They're actually on a run of 7 Bundesliga wins in a row right now. That's a personal best run for company while in charge of Bayern.
7 wins.
Yeah.
Getting close to some big historical runs, then.
It is. Their last longer streak was that ridiculous 14 wins under Hansi Flick back in 2020. So, yeah, the current system is definitely built for winning consistently.
But there's always a but, isn't there? There's a piece of history here that might make Bayern fans a little nervous going into the specific weekend.
This is the interesting part. You might remember this.
Wait, hang on. Are you talking about the 2016-17 season? Because I think I remember where they tripped up. Was it match day 6?
Exactly, match day 6. That season, they started brilliantly, very similar to now, won their first 5, and then dropped their first points in a 1-1 draw against Köln.
Right, I remember that.
Now, okay, they still walked the title that year, won it easily with games to spare, about 16 points ahead of Leipzig in the end, but the precedent is there. The first stumble came right here, on this exact match day. It's a little historical warning sign flashing.
That definitely adds another layer to this game. Okay, so we've established both attacks are, record-breaking or close to it. Suggest goals, lots of them.
You'd think so.
But if that's the case, why isn't this seen as maybe a closer contest, like a pure 50-50? I suspect the answer is at the other end of the pitch, that huge difference in defense we see in the stats.
Absolutely spot on. That's the key imbalance here, the structural flaw, if you like, for Frankfurt in this matchup. Bayern come into this with the joint best defense in the entire league. They've only conceded 3 goals total.
3 goals in 5 games, that's control.
Systemic control, yeah. And Frankfurt, well,
it's the opposite story, isn't it? They've already let in 13 goals this season.
13. And unfortunately for Frankfurt, that's another club record for them. The most goals they've ever conceded after 5 match days.
Wow. How does that stack up league-wide?
It's bad. Only Werder Bremen, who've let in 14, have conceded more. So Frankfurt statistically had the second worst defense in the Bundesliga right now.
So basically, Frankfurt's whole approach seems to be about trying to just outscore their defensive problems. Does that make them the most sort of volatile team statistically, setting records for scoring and conceding?
I think you could say that. They are incredibly volatile. And the big problem is that kind of plays right into Bayern's hands.
How so?
Well, look at how Bayern play. They are absolutely ruthless when they sense defensive weakness. And the numbers really highlight this. Bayern have scored at least 3 goals, 3 or more, in each of their last 6 league games.
6 games in a row scoring 3+.
Yep. A 6-game streak of just hammering teams, essentially.
Okay, this raises a pretty scary thought for Frankfurt then. If you put Bayern's habit of scoring 3 or more next to Frankfurt, setting a club record for conceding.
Yeah.
The implication is that Frankfurt might need to score, 4 goals just to get a draw out of this?
Yeah.
The margin for error just seems tiny, non-existent almost.
It really does. It puts enormous pressure on Frankfurt's attack to keep firing, to keep pace, which naturally brings us right back to that individual duel we mentioned, the one that might decide if Frankfurt can pull off that kind of offensive miracle.
Kane versus Uzun.
Exactly.
Okay, let's start with the benchmark, Harry Kane. His numbers are already, well, they're bordering on silly, aren't they?
They really are. 10 goals and 3 assists in just 5 league games. That's 13 goal involvements already.
Just elite production. It's like he hasn't skipped a beat coming into the Bundesliga.
Not at all. He's already got 2 league braces, scored twice against Bremen and Hoffenheim, and he's got 2 league hat-tricks already, too, against Hamburg and Leipzig.
And it's not just the league, is it? He's doing it in Europe, too.
That's right. Braces in both Champions League games so far against Chelsea and Paphos. Just scoring for fun, it seems.
Is that level of production, though, is it all down to Kane himself? Or is company system just generating this historic volume of chances, something that was maybe there before?
That's a really good question analytically. I think the system definitely provides the platform, the volume of opportunities, but the execution, that feels very much like Kane's personal brilliance. I mean, consider this. There's only been 1 single game this entire season where Kane, the 32-year-old, hasn't scored. Just 1. That was the Augsburg match.
Every other game, he's scored.
Every single other game he's played, he's found the net. That level of personal consistency is just incredibly rare.
But the threat from Frankfurt is fascinating, too. Let's talk about Can Uzun.
Right, the young gun.
He's only 19, born locally in Regensburg, Bavaria, actually. But he's already a Turkey international. And he's second in the Bundesliga, only behind Kane, with 8 goal involvements.
Which is phenomenal for a 19-year-old, isn't it? To be right behind arguably the world's most informed striker in terms of goal involvements, it shows you how crucial he is to that record-breaking Frankfurt attack. He's the engine.
Okay, so Kane's got the huge overall numbers, 10 goals, 13 involvements. But there's one specific area, one stat, where young Uzun actually has the edge over the England captain. And this, for me, is the little statistical nugget that makes this head-to-head really special.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. And it's pretty amazing.
Go on.
It's this. Uzun is the only player in this entire match, in fact, in the entire Bundesliga, who has scored in every single league game so far this season.
Every single game. Match days 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Unbroken consistency.
Total, unwavering consistency. Kane didn't score against Augsburg, remember? Uzun hasn't had an off day yet, scoring-wise.
And the data shows this isn't just a Bundesliga thing either.
No. That's what makes it even more remarkable. He is the only player across all of Europe's top 5 leagues. England, Spain, Italy, Germany, France, who has managed to score in every single one of his league appearances this season.
Wow. Nobody else.
Nobody else. For a 19-year-old carrying that new club record offense, it's just astonishing composure and finishing.
That's a first for Frankfurt, too.
Yeah, another little piece of history. He's the first Eintracht Frankfurt player ever to score in each of the opening 5 match days of a Bundesliga season. He really is the symbol of this surprising attacking surge they're having.
Okay, so let's try and pull all these threads together for you, the listener. This match-day 6 game basically boils down to this epic collision. Bayern's unstoppable historical attack, led by the veteran record-breaker Kane,
colliding with Frankfurt's dynamic new-look attack, spearheaded by this incredibly consistent young phenomenon, Uzun.
But the whole thing is overshadowed or maybe framed by that defensive weakness at Frankfurt.
Exactly. The statistical forecast, it's heavily weighted by the defense. It is Kane versus Uzun, that's the glamour matchup. But it's happening against the backdrop of Frankfurt's club record leaky defense.
So the numbers would probably point towards a Bayern win, especially with that habit they have of scoring 3+ goals.
Logically, yes. But Uzun's unique scoring streak, that's the statistical wildcard. That's the element of chaos or unpredictability that keeps this contest, well, potentially wide open.
And football loves those statistical disruptions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Bayern's attacking dominance is clear on paper, but their own history, that 2016-17 season, it whispers a warning right here on this specific match day.
So if we connect all that back to the bigger picture, the historical precedents we talked about, the real tension for you to track this weekend comes down to one question, really.
What breaks first?
Exactly. What breaks first? Is it Bayern dropping their first points of the season right on match day 6 again? Just like they did back in 2016-17, that little historical repeat?
Or is it Can Uzun's perfect Europe-leading scoring streak? Does that finally come to an end against the league's joint best defense?
That's the core drama. That's the question that really defines this whole battle.
You'll just have to watch and find out which record falls.